Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, State College graduates told to put their best foot forward and be resilient as they embark upon a new chapter in their lives. Government says legalizing an ounce of marijuana is a small step toward criminal justice reform, and Dominica's first ever innovative hub dubbed a resounding success. The details coming up.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Showtime, shop at Quartz. We got all the things you want.
It's showtime at Quartz. Shop today and save up to 30% off on selected Whirlpool cooker. Plus, get a chance to win amazing weekly prizes with purchases of $299 and over. So don't delay. Get what you need now and pay absolutely nothing until 2021.
Showtime. We got it. Just what you need. Yeah, Quartz got it.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
The graduating class of the Dominica State College has been challenged to show its resilience in its post-DSC journey. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
The charge from President of the Dominica State College, Dr. Donald Peters, when he addressed the 18th commencement ceremony of the college on Wednesday. Dr. Peters congratulated the staff and students for overcoming the recent adversities posed by Hurricane Maria and now COVID-19.
Your fellow students also did well after Hurricane Maria. And today you are demonstrating once again the resiliency of Dominica State College's students, faculty, and staff in overcoming diversity. We really rock. I would therefore ask you as you continue your education or join the workforce to demonstrate continually to the world that you are a DSC resilient certified graduate, and you will always try your best to overcome obstacles and become the best at what you do.
The graduates were cautioned that they were entering a new phase of their lives amidst the difficult times globally.
COVID-19 may not have killed anyone in Dominica, but it has devastated the world's economy. And here at home, I'm sure that it was difficult for you and your family during lockdown and curfew when hundreds of people became unemployed and our economy almost came to a halt. You were deprived of very simple things, such as hugging a friend, no CWO, no gathering, no church services. Those events touch your lives, as Ms. Riviere pointed out. And as you move on this graduation, the experience you gained by you and your family will serve to make you stronger and more appreciative of what you have and the degree you have earned there today.
Over 300 students graduated from the Dominica State College on Wednesday. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
And past graduate of the Dominica State College is advising the 2020 graduating class to put their best foot forward as they enter a new chapter in their lives. Lead singer of the Signal Band and class valedictorian of Morgan State University in 2017, Sheldon Alfred, was a guest speaker at the first of 3 commencement ceremonies at the Dominica State College on Wednesday. Alfred commended graduates for making it to the end of their degree program despite their unique set of challenges.
This condition, though, will not last forever, and each and every one of you will go on to do great things in the world. Your stories will all be different, but what will matter the most is the understanding that your input will be equal to your output. Some of you will feel right away equipped to open businesses. Some of you may find your dream jobs immediately. Some of you may find transitionary jobs. Some of you may go on to pursue bachelor and master degrees and even PhDs. But what will matter most is your understanding that your excellence can only be achieved in either of those endeavors if you put in the time, the effort, and the dedication that excellent people put in.
Alfred reassured the graduates that they can make a name for themselves at the State College and the country once they put in the effort.
I give 100% of myself to music and 100% of myself to education. You could also live by this 100% principle as well. I will leave you by saying that if my associate degree in architecture at the Dominica State College could have been the foundation for sending me off to become the class valedictorian of Morgan State University in 2017, and now a Master of Architecture student at one of America's most prestigious academic possessions, Harvard University Graduate School of Design, then so can you. But under one condition though, understanding that your input will equal to your output. Go out there and put your all in everything that you do. Walk in faith and show the world that great things can happen from this small college, more so this small country.
This year's valedictorian is Melissa Williams. In other news now, the amendment of the Drug Abuse Prevention Act in Parliament this week, making the possession of 1 ounce or less of cannabis legal, is part of a much larger plan of criminal justice reform. The National Security Minister told Parliament on Monday that there had been a global thrust towards the decriminalization of certain aspects of marijuana possession. Blackmore says the decriminalization of certain quantities of cannabis has been government's intention for some time.
In its 2019-2020 budget speech entitled Recovery, Modernization, Transformation, the Honorable Prime Minister indicated, Madam Speaker, Madam at the time, we recognize the sensitivities of this issue. We are of the view, however, that in all the circumstances, particularly having regard to empirical data and the growing international importance of medical marijuana and the world trend of decriminalization of marijuana for medical and religious and recreational use, that the government should bring to Parliament for consideration legislation to decriminalize the possession of a certain quantity of marijuana. The government will therefore propose that the possession of not more than 28.35 grams, that is 1 ounce, of marijuana, be decriminalized. He continued, Mr. Speaker, we will go further and make the necessary amendments to have struck off from the record of those convicted for marijuana possession any conviction in respect of possession of 28.3 grams, 1 ounce or less. Mr. Speaker, the commitment to decriminalization was reiterated by the Honorable Prime Minister in the National Budget Address for the fiscal year 2020-2021, in which he indicated that the government will forge ahead on the matter.
In a recent manifesto, the Dominica Labour Party outlined a commitment to expunge the criminal records of all individuals previously convicted for possessing small quantities of marijuana. That means that individuals found in possession of 1 ounce of marijuana or less for personal use would not be prosecuted. Mr. Blackmore says this can be seen as a hallmark in our development, but there are restrictions. Consequently, it shall not be lawful for anyone to have in his possession more than 1 ounce of marijuana.
Any person who has 20 grams or less of cannabis or cannabis resin in his possession is not guilty of an offense under Section 7.2. However, it is worthy to note, Mr. Speaker, that the lifting of restriction of being in possession of 20 grams of marijuana does not apply to persons under the age of 18. I want to reiterate for emphasis, Mr. Speaker, does not apply to persons under the age of 18. Mr. Speaker, this legislation is not intended to encourage smoking or the usage of marijuana of minors as there is serious medical evidence of the adverse effects of cannabis on the undeveloped brains.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid. But there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Executive Director of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce says the first ever innovative hub was a resounding success. Andrea Louis tells us more.
The Entrepreneurship and Innovation Hub was held the first week in October and targeted youth across the country to expose them to the world of entrepreneurship. Lesra Fabian, Executive Director of the DAIC, says the initiative was designed to create relevant tools for young entrepreneurs to build a resilient business.
31 young entrepreneurs successfully completed a one-week intensive program at Jungle Bay Eco Resort. This initiative was curated and it was designed to provide young entrepreneurs across Dominica with relevant business skills and tools so that going forward, they would be in a better position to build more resilient and innovative business models. During the program, the young entrepreneurs were engaged by a diverse group of local and international presenters and business mentors, and this proved to be a unique and exciting opportunity for our entrepreneurs to connect with cutting-edge, relevant, and inspiring entrepreneurial experiences.
The Office of the Prime Minister, as well as the Organization of American States and the DAIC, collaborated on this venture, which participants said was extremely useful.
Ms. Melinda Francois of Melinda Francois Consultancy and Albert Graham of Graham Smoke Meats shared their experiences on and highlighting how important and timely this initiative has been to them. One of the greatest benefits that they've noted is that the networking among participants and mentors have been really important in moving their businesses forward. We also would like to continue and strengthen entrepreneurship and innovation through training, mentorship, and increased access to finance. And we are calling on extending an invitation to other individuals and organizations who are desirous of supporting this initiative to move innovation and entrepreneurship forward in Dominica.
A debate on the amendment to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana drew some interesting presentations from the members of Parliament on Monday. The MPs overwhelmingly welcomed the measures, some of them with caution.
This bill, which is before the House, is certainly timely, historic, and quite welcomed by myself and many who are users of the herb for various reasons, Mr. Speaker. I am particularly excited about the recommendation for the expunging of the police records of many, in particular our youth, who were convicted for the possession of small amounts of marijuana. Mr. Speaker, this is also a welcomed opportunity for marijuana users who derive recreational and medicinal benefits from the herb, ganja, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, Mr. Speaker. Oh yes, pot, sensimilia, kaya, whatever you call it, we respect it in many ways. They can now possess limited quantities of marijuana without fear of being subject to the law. Mr. Speaker, in lending support to this bill, I do not want to give the impression that coming from the great constituency of Grand Bay, where we are considered to be major users of the herb, that I am in support of the full legalization of marijuana at this time. That will come some other time, Mr. Speaker. I want to focus on what is before us today, and that is the decriminalization of the possession of 28 grams or less of marijuana, as well as the expunging or erasing of the police records of those who were convicted of possession of small amounts of the substance.
MP for Pilit Savan, formerly Minister for Health, was among those who sounded a note of caution.
While we laud the introduction of this long-awaited bill, as Minister Regis and both Minister Regis and the Minister for National Security alluded to, this cannot be done in a celebratory mode. Yes, celebratory, but a very somber and responsible mode, Mr. Speaker, because we cannot sweep the negative effects of cannabis sativa or marijuana cannabis under the carpet. And while the Minister for Justice mentioned the age limit as being over 18, meaning you can be charged if you're below 18 in possession, it doesn't mean that the below 18, our most vulnerable population, our kids, the teenagers and children, they are going to be more exposed to it, Mr. Speaker. So while they cannot use it below 18, but they will be exposed to it because the adults will now have the legal 18 grams lying around, 28 grams, lying around in the house. So they will be more exposed to it, Mr. Speaker. So this we have to be careful. And we really want to reach out, especially to our younger population, that you don't go about lighting up a joint in the bus tonight and say, them fellas free up the herb. You don't go about lighting up a joint in the jam, Mr. Speaker, because it's still illegal to use it in public spaces.
There are some immediate concerns. I would implore the better judgment of the majority side of the House to consider the following. Mr. Speaker, and Dr. Darrow rightly pointed out, there is also need for monitoring of this particular amendment that we're bringing forward. And I humbly suggest, Mr. Speaker, that some method should be placed to ensure that we could capture the amount of cannabis that is being planted. Taking into consideration, Mr. Speaker, that there's the potential for households to have free plants of cannabis, but considering the nature of the plant itself, some species come into maturity within 6 to 8 months. So which means, Mr. Speaker, one resident could cultivate free plants in 6 months, harvest, but bearing in mind each plant could go from anywhere to a pong or 2 pongs of cannabis. Mr. Speaker, what we would want to know is that we are not allowing our citizens to gradually progress into more serious crimes, Mr. Speaker, and therefore some monitoring tools should be placed, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that within a particular time frame that no more than 3 plants are cultivated.
And a member of the House of Nyabingi says his community welcomes government's efforts to ensure that a marijuana conviction does not destroy the future of any young person. Rasiwatu believes a single moment of indiscretion by a young person should not tarnish their name and entire future efforts to turn their life around.
People that will be criminalized, brutally criminalized under before that the law was passed. They have to look at how they deal with those people, especially people are in lockup now.
So you support the idea of the expunging of people's records, and so those who may have been convicted for a small amount, you support this idea as well.
You have to, because, for instance, a young man might have caused a young woman, somebody get them the spliff and they tarnish a whole person's record, and with that record you cannot get certain documents and you cannot get certain places in life. So that you need to take a look and just erase those kind of things, because that you're damaging the youth and them. You know, we always have talk to again with the law people, the law officials, how they approach people, because you need to have some kind of moral in how you deal with your people. Your people are your human resources. All you have in your island. You have to have some moral how you deal with people, you know, because some people I mean probably one split for some thousands of dollars for one little thing, and probably might just buy the thing $1 or $2, and you're gonna charge somebody to it, and then after that, no, you don't charge, and you put it in jail and you get them a record. Now that person innocent, a young man come out and he want a job because of the record, he can't get it. He want to go a visa or something, he can't get it because of the record. So it's very important how they have to take a look at how they're doing everything.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. State College graduates told to put their best foot forward and be resilient as they embark upon a new chapter in their lives. Government says legalizing an ounce of marijuana is a small step towards criminal justice reform, and Dominica's first ever innovative hub dubbed a resounding success. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.